Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a seriously profound ancient text, one that literally promises to completely reshape how we understand inner peace and our daily purpose. Let's just dive right in. So think about this for a second. Can reading, or honestly even just listening to a single ancient verse every single day completely change your destiny? I know, it sounds like a massive claim, right? But the source material we're looking at today makes exactly this case. It actually offers a highly practical roadmap for spiritual transformation that fits right into our super busy modern lives. The spiritual journey begins here with our core subject, the Shrimad Bhagavad. Now, according to the text, this isn't just a book. It's not just a collection of ancient stories. It's actually considered the very word form, the direct verbal manifestation of the divine. The idea is, when you interact with it, you are literally interacting directly with divine energy. Section 1. Decoding the Bhagavad. Beyond the literal word. So, what does the word Bhagavad actually mean? Well, the text breaks down the word itself, and it functions almost like an ancient acronym. Bha stands for bhakti, or devotion, which removes the darkness of ignorance. Ga stands for gyan, or knowledge, which crushes our ego. Va represents vairagya, or detachment, building up our inner spiritual strength. And Ta is tarak, meaning salvation, basically rescuing us from the endless cycle of worldly suffering. Put it all together, and these 4 syllables represent a complete spiritual toolkit. But ultimately, the Bhagavad goes way beyond literal definitions. It's described as the pure embodiment of the divine character, specifically the joyous play of the Supreme, represented by Radha and Krishna. It's the absolute essence of pure devotion to one another and to the world, captured directly in written form. Section 2. The human condition, the 3 taps. Okay, so why do we even need this spiritual toolkit in the first place? Well, because of the human condition. The Bhagavad specifically aims to cure human suffering, and it categorizes that suffering cleanly into 3 buckets, or tops. First up is daihik, that's physical or bodily pain, like illness. Second is daivik, suffering caused by natural or cosmic forces totally beyond our control, like extreme weather. And finally, bhautik, material suffering caused by other living beings or societal pressures. This framework is incredibly powerful because you can easily map these ancient categories directly onto our modern everyday anxieties, and the text promises a way out of all 3. Section 3. Sat Chit Anand, finding bliss in duty. The way out of those 3 worldly sorrows is to understand ultimate reality through the framework of Sat Chit Anand. That's eternal truth, pure consciousness, and absolute bliss. But how do we actually reach that bliss? The text presents this really revolutionary idea through the story of the devoted gopis of Vrindavan. See, these women didn't abandon their homes. They didn't leave their responsibilities to go meditate in a cave somewhere. Instead, they found the divine simply by infusing their ordinary chores with constant spiritual awareness. They viewed every single everyday action as an offering. This brilliantly illustrates the main contrast at the heart of the text. On one side, you have the traditional ascetic path, right? Leaving society for isolated meditation. But on the other side, you have the Bhagavat's incredibly practical roadmap, finding the divine right in the middle of your daily household duties. It tells us that enlightenment isn't about escaping your life at all. It's about completely transforming how you live it. Section 4. The power of daily recitation, metrics of merit. So how do we achieve this profound inner transformation? Actually, it's through the simple, consistent methodology of daily recitation. And the text provides these staggering metrics of merit to emphasize this, starting with this number, 1,000. The source material states that reading, or even just listening to half a verse of the Bhagavad daily, yields the incredible spiritual merit equivalent to donating 1,000 cows. Now, to put that into perspective, in ancient times, that was the absolute highest form of charity and wealth transfer. It just goes to show how much spiritual currency is gained from tiny, daily habits. Furthermore, the text declares this: the one who recites a single verse daily attains the fruit of reading all 18 Puranas. And those are massive, sprawling epics of ancient wisdom. The whole point here is accessibility for the everyday person. You really don't need to be a full-time scholar to transform your inner self. In fact, the text notes that just keeping a single verse written in your home invites a divine presence. It's all about that daily, focused intention. Section 5. Transforming the inner self. Lessons in action. Now, the Bhagavad doesn't just give us high philosophies. It gives us these really unforgettable parables to ground these ideas into actual action. The first is a modern-style story about a Dr. Chanda. He was a man strictly dedicated to his routine, closing his clinic promptly at 6 p.m. for golf. Well, one evening, a desperate father named Ram Narayan brought in his dying 8-year-old son. Prioritizing his golf game and his rigid schedule, Dr. Chanda actually refused to look at the boy, who tragically died that night. Fast forward, and Dr. Chanda's own son was bitten by a venomous snake. When all other doctors failed, Ram Narayan, the grieving father who happened to know traditional remedies, showed up in the middle of the night. Despite his own tragic loss caused by the doctor, Ram Narayan just couldn't ignore his duty to help another human being, and he saved the doctor's son. When a weeping Dr. Chanda asked for forgiveness, Ram Narayan delivered this totally powerful moral punchline. If God has given you a talent and it doesn't help others, it is merely a burden. That brilliantly illustrates that prioritizing rigid, selfish routines over human compassion leads straight to spiritual emptiness. True devotion is actively using your talents for others. Our second anecdote explores the pursuit of ultimate, unwavering knowledge. And this is the incredible story of a young sage named Sukdev. Sukdev was sent to King Janaka to learn the final truths of the universe. But the king decided to test him first. For 3 whole days, Sukdev was made to stand at the palace gates, completely ignored by the guards. He felt no anger. Then, for 10 days, he was brought inside and treated to the ultimate, mind-boggling luxuries of the royal court. He felt absolutely no attachment or greed. Finally, the king handed him a bowl of milk, filled to the absolute brim. King Janaka gave Sukdev a challenge: carry this brimful bowl of milk and walk 7 laps around the chaotic, noisy, music-filled palace. The catch? Do not spill a single drop. So Sukdev took the bowl, navigated the dancers, the musicians, the massive crowds, and completed all 7 laps. 0 drops were spilled. King Janaka looked at him and said, "You have already passed. You don't need me to teach you anything." Janaka's brilliant lesson was this: true spirituality isn't about hiding away in a quiet forest. It's maintaining perfect inner balance, absolute focus, and 0 attachment, even while you're surrounded by the extreme chaos and distractions of everyday life. Section 6, the ultimate takeaway, the journey to Anand. The journey to Anand, absolute inner bliss, isn't complicated, but it definitely requires practice. By combining the daily recitation of wisdom with selfless action, we strip away the useless weight of anger and ego. So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought inspired by King Janaka's test. As you go about your day-to-day, navigating your job, your family, and the chaos of the modern world, are you carrying the bowl of your life's duties without spilling your inner peace? Keep that focus, do your duties selflessly, and the bliss will follow. Thanks for joining me for this explainer, and I really hope this ancient wisdom serves you well today.